Hello and welcome to Love Advice TV. My name is Coach Adrian, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about no contact and if no contact works in long distance breakups. And that's a question that I get asked quite a lot. A lot of people face a very tough uphill battle to rebuilding a relationship that they've lost from a distance. And a lot of times they don't know if going no contact is going to be a good thing because they're afraid of falling out of touch with their significant other who feels so far away. And so I'm often asked in private coaching sessions if no contact is also a valuable tool for a long distance breakup. And the answer is yes, of course, you can leverage the power of no contact after a long distance breakup. Because ultimately, no contact is a tool for you. It is a tool to protect you from the vulnerability and the mistakes that can happen when you are feeling so low and when you're in the state of despair. And when you make a lot of mistakes that end up hurting your process of breakup recovery. And so, yes, because when you choose to pull away on your terms after a breakup, what you're doing in essence is giving yourself time to process what has happened. And you're also giving your significant other the space to be able to transition out of the relationship in a healthy way. It may sound like a shock to some of you that you would want your significant other to transition out of the relationship. But the reality is that we don't want them to cling on to the old version of you. In most cases, breakups happen because your significant other lost trust in your ability to make them happy. Or perhaps the distance took its toll. And by staying connected at a time when you feel vulnerable and when your significant other feels like they have a lot of control, it can lead to a dynamic where they start to wean off of the relationship because you're constantly giving them validation, attention. And so it's easier for them to kind of step away from the relationship. Ultimately, that period of time will also give you the ability to have a clear mind as you start to think about this process of rebuilding this relationship the right way and for the right reasons. Now, no contact is not just a communication strategy. I want you to think of this no contact or pulling away as a mindset, because ultimately it's not just a means to get them to communicate with you. It's a means for you to break out of the rut and start to create a new identity for yourself. And if you stay connected to your significant other, it is a lot harder to do so, simply because you're still very attached to them. And you need that space to be able to start to bounce back, to be able to start to create that identity without them. And my experience has been that if you continue to stay connected with them, it can really hinder that process of healing and that process of self-rediscovery that needs to happen after a breakup in order to create something new. The fact that you're in a long-distance relationship does not change that, because to you, the relationship was very real. You were very connected to this person. You did speak to them on a regular basis, and your future was pretty intertwined. And so that's why it's important to be in this new mindset of pulling away and doing what you have to do to be able to take control of your emotional destiny. While in this mindset of pulling away, it will also help you detach from the outcome or the obsession of making it work at all costs, because that is not attractive. And quite frankly, it doesn't make sense. You should not try to get back together at all costs. You should aim to get back together if you're able to create a new and improved relationship where you're both fulfilled, where the troubles, obstacles, and challenges of the past relationships have been resolved through growth, through personal transformation. And if you're able to do that, it makes it so much easier to re-engage with your significant other from a place of confidence and with swagger, because you're no longer depending on them to be happy, to be whole, and to be fulfilled. And that alleviates a lot of pressure. on the shoulders of this other person who does not want to be responsible for your happiness and who does not want to be cornered or to be forced to be with you. They need to choose to engage. They need to choose to want to be with you. And that process of pulling away in order to really refocus on all that you can be will give them the ability to do so willingly, not feeling like they're being pressured into something that they don't want to do. Ultimately, when you do re-engage with them, you need to do so from a place, from a good place, but also in an organic way, so that there is no despair in some ways. There's no sign of weakness and vulnerability that will trigger them. And as you do that, we cannot give them any reason to pull away. We cannot give your significant other a reason to not communicate with you. If they're not ready and if they choose not to communicate with you, it's not the end of the world. But we don't want unforced errors. We don't want to come off too strong and too desperate, because in essence, that would really complicate the process. We cannot avoid to continuously make mistakes after a breakup. And that is precisely why I've created a video, my 10-point checklist for healthy communication in long-distance breakup. And you can find that video by clicking on the link below. It is free, it is comprehensive, it will give you powerful tools to rebuild communication the right way and to make sure that you're strengthening your bond and not pushing them away. As always, I am here for you, and I urge you, I invite you to share a little bit more about what you're going through in the comment section of this video. I hope it was helpful. I'm trying to give you practical tools that you can apply right away in order to make sure that you're in the type of relationship that you want to be in, a fulfilling, healthy, long-distance relationship with someone that is investing in that process with you, so that it's not all on your shoulders. As always, thank you for tuning in, thank you for your trust, and keep fighting the good fight.